Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's another Movie Star Monday, and I'm excited to visit with Dar Dixon. Now, if that name doesn't look familiar, I guarantee you his face will. He is on a ton of stuff, on a ton of different television shows for sure. There's Young and the Restless, a show that I like, and I probably shouldn't admit I like, Silicon Valley.
I don't like that show.
She's like, not so much. But also on This Is Us, trying to think of some of the others, Supergirl, just a bunch of huge names as I was scrolling through his IMDb page, and several movies as well. Anyway, we're going to be visiting with Dar Dixon coming up later in the program. You ready for a quote for today, Heidi?
Sure.
I wish I could say I was ready. I'm not. Here I am. Now I'm ready. For Monday, the 7th day of May, Tony Robbins says, "It is in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped." I agree. Make good choices. Because if you make good choices, those decisions will pay off in the end. And you've already made a good choice because you're listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Monday, the 7th day of May. It's National Barrier Awareness Day. The barrier itself usually makes you aware. It's also National Packaging Design Day, National Paste Up Day, National Roast Leg of Lamb Day, and Melanoma Monday.
There's really not much to celebrate this week.
Well, I'm going to celebrate, which one?
Nothing.
Packaging Design Day. I'm going to just look at a package and think, have you ever had a chance to design a package of anything?
I wrap gifts all the time, so
Well,
I suppose
that's
that technically is a package design.
I remember when I was much younger, I got to help design a package, and it was kind of neat because then I saw it. I remember when you and I first got married, I saw it in a convenience store. I was like, I helped design that. So it was just kind of neat. I was like, that's pretty darn cool. This is the interesting things that happen in our life. Not so interesting. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-818-3967. 800-818-3967. That's 800-818-3967. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs. But first, in South Carolina, a 75-year-old man was arrested for shoplifting 2 bottles of wine, some gourmet mushrooms, and some hummus at a supermarket. When deputies asked the 75-year-old man, "Why didn't you pay for these items?" he said, "I didn't realize I had to." Have you been doing this for 75 years? I wonder what he meant by that. I didn't realize I had to. Isn't that just a weird response?
Have you ever had hummus? It probably should be free.
Hey, come on. I wonder if the guy, if like it's a dementia issue, if you think that's what it is?
I don't know.
Or I have no clue. I just think his choice of foods, though, I thought were interesting. 2 bottles of wine, gourmet mushrooms, and hummus. So he was getting ready for one heck of a party. All right. Got your brain on drugs coming up.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is Your Brain on Drugs. Police say a 22-year-old Jose Cruz confessed to breaking into a Southern California Taco Bell because he was drunk and hungry. He showed up at the Pasadena police station and allegedly admitted to the early Saturday morning break-in. The man matched the description given by a witness who called to report a fast food burglary. According to reports, Cruz said he broke into the Tex-Mex chain because he was drunk and had a craving for Dorito Locos taco shells. This almost sounds like a commercial now.
Well, at least he turned himself in when he realized what he did was stupid. That was smart, at least.
Lieutenant Pete Hedema said it appeared 10 Dorito taco shells were taken from the counter, but it's unknown how many of them the man ate. Some of the shells were left crumbled on the floor. He was arrested on suspicion of commercial burglary. I wonder if he'll get like some sort of deal from Taco Bell. Because here we are talking about their product, and it seems like product placement in the middle of a story. I almost think that this is probably going to help them more than the 10 taco shells that he took. But,
right. I mean, just charge him for the taco shells and call it good.
Give him a T-shirt and send him on his way. This is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. I don't have my list of what made it at the box office over the weekend, the big ones, the little ones, and all that, so I'm going to have to save that for another day. But here's what I do have. Westworld star Evan Rachel Wood says that nudity is so normal on the set, it's not even weird anymore. I've not seen this. Westwood, have you seen this?
No.
It's probably some people going, what's this? When is that on? I'm going to have to check it out. MSNBC host Joy Reid released a statement saying she no longer believes that her blog was hacked to include homophobic passages back in 2006, but that she still doesn't believe that she was the one who wrote the offensive statements because those thoughts are completely foreign to her.
Okay, so which is it? Was it hacked and somebody else did it, or did you do it?
I think what she's saying is there were other people that were helping her with her blog, and somebody else must have typed that. But she doesn't think that it was like a hacker maliciously doing it. I don't know what it was. It don't matter to me. Logan Paul, you know who that is? There's a whole generation right now that just rolled their eyes at me. YouTube star.
Oh, yeah, I have.
Logan Paul.
Is he the one that filmed the dead guy?
I don't know. Our daughter is probably not happy at us right now because we don't know what we're talking about. She's 16.
I don't sit around and watch that garbage. It's
she
ridiculous.
watches YouTube stuff all the time. YouTube star. So this is big screen, little screen, little screen. YouTube star Logan Paul announced that he's no longer going to vlog every day after a series of controversial videos landed him in hot water.
Yeah,
so,
that would be the guy.
I think he is the one. So there you go. Speaking of hot water, I'm going to get in hot water if we don't wrap things up. This has been Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now, your scoop of the day, courtesy of 49bydesign.com. Limited legroom is harder to bear when passengers know that others are comfortably sipping bubbly right in front of them. According to a new study, it's a takeaway from a University of Toronto study that examined 1,500 air rage incidents from a single airline, and they found incidents rise on flights with a first-class cabin, particularly if the economy class has to walk through the area to get to their seat. Don't you always?
Yeah, you
Every
always
flight
have
I've
to-
ever gotten
yeah,
on,
you have to walk through.
And it says when the economy passengers have to walk through, the study author says when they close the curtain between the cabins, they are reminded of economy passengers not getting all of that extra room. It reminds them that they've paid hundreds of dollars for this quote-unquote experience to be squished into that seat.
Right, but the people in first class paid thousands of dollars for that experience.
So there you go.
I mean,
guess,
you get what you pay for.
There you go. See, have I ever flown first class?
Yeah, we did once.
Did we
Only 'cause
really?
We got upgraded when I was a travel agent.
How in the world do I not remember this? Was it great?
It was
there a
on
party?
our.
Was
it
there-
was amazing, but
What?
we were both so sick because we stayed up all night long in Vegas waiting for our
that's
flight.
right. So we slept all the way home.
It
Like
was-
we missed out on our one and only first class experience. So let's move on before she thinks of something else to say, because I know what she was going to say. A writer and a doctor of psychology, Anna Konikova, was writing a book on poker. Now, she's an author, and she's a doctor of psychology. She quit writing the book on poker. You know why?
Why?
Because she was doing this study on how this works, and she's been winning so much money, she just put the book on hold. She's apparently really good at poker.
Huh.
Because, again, she's a doctor of psychology, and she was writing this book, and she's like, I'm going to come back to that later. I don't know that I really want these tricks getting out right now. Let me win a bunch of dough, and then I'll tell you how I did it. A new study finds half of Americans wear jeans the majority of the week. And then they broke it down by political parties. I don't know why that was necessary, but 50% of Democrats wear jeans every most of the week, and 54% of Republicans wear jeans at least 4 days of the week, they're saying. So why
I wear jeans every day.
I wear jeans often as well, but I don't know that it has anything to do with my political views.
No, I don't believe
I'm not
so
sure
either.
that seems like a stretch. Schools are replacing analog clocks in rooms where they take tests because kids don't know how to read the clocks, and then they get really anxious about how much time they have left. It is amazing to me. Do our kids know how to read a clock?
Our son does, but our daughter struggles with it.
We have to work on that. Here's why. Their whole generation, and honestly, even back to my generation, we've been raised on digital clocks. So you look, and it's got the digital block numbers, and it tells you what time it is. There was a video, and I've got a link to this whole story, and then the story had a link to a video from Jimmy Kimmel where they went out on the street with a couple of different clocks, and they asked a bunch of kids, and there was only one kid that knew how to tell time.
That is really sad.
It was really sad. I'm
and
looking
I don't
at
know
this
how
thinking
they passed their class not knowing.
They
I got
probably
held
quit doing
back.
it.
I got held back in first grade because I couldn't understand why a quarter after wasn't 25 after.
Because a quarter is 25
Right,
cents. That
right.
makes sense to me.
So
But
I
only
couldn't
60
grasp
minutes.
that, and they held me back in that grade because I
nowadays,
just couldn't get it.
You should fight that. You should get you should be an honorary valedictorian or something because they don't even teach it anymore. Kids don't know. So make your kids smart. Make sure they know how to tell time. I mean, that's a really, really good thing. Over here, the next survey from My Statesman found that over 2,000 Texans have tigers living in their backyards as pets. What? When do I get a tiger? 2,000 people in Texas have a pet tiger.
Texas.
I just think that's kind of a cool story. I kind of want my own tiger.
Right?
But I don't think our dogs would like that. So we have two little itty-bitty wimpy dogs, and pretty sure they would be tiger chow. This has been your Scoop of the Day, courtesy of 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Do you have ideas for t-shirt designs, but you don't have a clue how to print them? Or maybe you'd like to have t-shirts and coffee mugs available to buy online with your business logo printed on them. There's a website that makes it easy. We set ours up in about 10 minutes. There's no sign-up fee, no minimum orders, no monthly fees. It's just a really easy way to put some cool items online for sale, and you get paid every time somebody buys them. You don't have to print or ship anything. Just sign up, upload your designs, and then let people know where they can get your cool stuff. More details available at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening on another Movie Star Monday. Today, I'm super excited to visit with a gentleman that's been in several movies, and he's also on a ton of different television programs. Dar Dixon. Dar, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well, John.
Now, as I look through your resume here and some of the films and some of the TV programs you've been on, there are some that everybody's heard of. This Is Us, which is huge right now on television. Scandal, which is huge. Silicon Valley, which is one that I've got kind of roped into watching and fallen in love with. Supergirl. Then we kind of go back a little further, and I see on here The Young and the Restless, and Grey's Anatomy, and Criminal Minds, and CSI, and The Bold and the Beautiful. I mean, these are names that everybody has heard of, and you had the opportunity to be on a lot of these programs. What was that like to go on the set and see some of the people that you've seen on television for years, and hey, I get to work with those people now?
Well, when you put it like that, I've never thought about it like that before. You know, it's a job, and so anyway, it's interesting. Starstruck the first time I was on a set. Second time, third time, God knows how. I can't believe they keep hiring me. And I'm waiting for them to say any day now, like, yeah, it's over, buddy. Thanks. Bye now. It's fun, you know. They're people. The celebrities, the stars that I've had the fortune to work with are largely really nice people. It's very rare that you come across someone who's not pleasant. You don't get very far in any business, any walk of life, unless you're, fun to work with and competent at what you do. So that's certainly been my experience.
Absolutely. Now, of all the projects that you've had a chance to work on, are there some that kind of stand out as like your favorites? Like, boy, I wish every project I worked on was as fun as this one.
Oh, You know what? There's a saying among actors, and they say, any day on a set is better than the best day out in the real world.
Yeah.
And, there's some truth to that. And it's not just, escapism and trying to, leave reality or whatever kind of stuff people think or say about actors. But, the first thing, we were just talking before we started doing the interview, you and I, and we mentioned Silicon Valley. And so I did that show probably about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. I'm not positive, but not too long ago. And it was interesting because I'd gotten hired to do a scene that was going to be improvised, save for one line. And, a lot of actors they really clamp up on that. And I guess I'm different that way. I love it. I love the improvisation world. I love to do it. I think it's critical for any performer, no matter what you're doing, to be able to move and work on the fly. And so my scene was with the guy who's now left the series, T.J. Miller, played Ehrlich, and Jimmy Yang, who plays John Yang. And those guys are both stand-up comedians, and the show is a comedy, mostly, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, my God, what is going on? I'm trying to go toe-to-toe with two stand-up comedians. And I was like, all right, it's time to put your big boy pants on. And, we got in there, we mixed it up, and it was hilarious. It was a ton of fun. And TJ and Jimmy are both really nice guys, really welcoming, made me feel comfortable being on the set and fun to work with. And TJ in particular was totally cool. We took pictures together. He introduced me to his then fiance, now wife, and she's lovely. And I'm just sorry to hear, the stuff that's been going on with TJ lately, and I wish him the best. Stuff happens in life, and this is a tough road to hoe, this entertainment business.
Well, and think about this. When you've got all of a sudden all of these big things happening, he's had some amazing opportunities that have come his way. When you have all these big things happening in your life, it would be hard to live under a microscope, and all of a sudden all that attention and all those eyes on you, it would be difficult. So I can certainly relate and certainly understand that it wouldn't be an easy thing. And, there are other people that make bad decisions all the time. They're just not a household name, so they don't, get the exposure that he got.
That's true. It is really, really challenging to live under a microscope. And there are times I ask myself, like, what am I doing? I go and stand in front of a camera, and you don't think about it. And then a couple of months later, a couple of days later, whatever the time frame is, the images show up on TV or in film, and then all of a sudden it becomes a conversation, and sometimes it becomes a hot topic. And there's still a moment where I think to myself, like, oh my God, what have I done? What have I done? And I'm not saying it in a bad way. It's just like it's still kind of a little bit arresting to see myself on the screen.
Now, one of the things that's really kind of fun is you don't play the same character in everything, but one of the things that I see as a kind of a recurring role, you've been a doctor in several different things. What do you think about that, being, getting the opportunity to play a doctor on television and to have the look that you have where they say, hey, you look like you could be a doctor, and people watch it and believe it. How does that feel to know that, hey, I've got the look, when people look at me, they feel like I would be, a doctor, because that's a position where it's somebody that's got to be very smart and very capable, and you pull that off very well. How does that feel to know that you kind of fit the mold for that?
Well, thank you. I'll tell you, that's a process that took a long time to really understand. You have to kind of step outside of yourself and look back at yourself. It sounds like artsy-fartsy, airy-fairy, but to see how people perceive you, because, no one really stops and thinks about that. And one of the things that became readily apparent to me after a while was that they would cast me in what you're saying, doctors, lawyers, presidents, CEOs, billionaires. These are all these authority figures.
Absolutely.
And, so, I'm tall. I've got kind of a deep voice. They always talk about, you've got this commanding presence. I don't know, man. I'm putting one foot in front of the other, trying to get through the day like anybody else. So I try to play to those strengths. And, as far as your question, the doctors, I grew up, my mother's an emergency room nurse for 28 years, in ICU for 3 years, and then another about 30 years working in managed health care. So I grew up in hospitals, around doctors and nurses, and listening to all this medical jargon and diagnoses and illnesses and surgery procedures and triage procedures, all this stuff. And so it kind of comes naturally to me, for better or for worse. I can wrap my mouth around those complicated phrases, which are never easy, by the way.
No, and when you watch that, it's so believable. It makes a lot of sense to me to find out that you have a family member, your mother, that worked in that field, and I think that's why you're so comfortable playing that role, and you do a great job of it.
Well, thank you. You just reminded me of a little story. I was driving, long story short, driving in Los Angeles about 15 years ago, maybe even 20 years ago, and a gentleman crossed across 3 lanes of traffic. We were all stopped waiting for the light to change, and he didn't realize that there were 3 lanes, and then there was a beginning of a 4th lane for a left turn, and he didn't look, and he didn't see the car coming at about 30 miles an hour, and the car didn't see him and hit him.
Oh, no.
It was gruesome. It happened about 10 feet away from me, and he flipped up in the air quite a few feet and landed, and it was not good. And I got out of the car, and I went over to him to start to, render first aid, and I didn't even think about any of this, right? And I'm going there, and I'm going at it, and they called the ambulance, and we were right around the street from Cedars-Sinai, which is one of the biggest hospitals in town here. And the paramedics got there, and they started calling me Doc. What's your assessment? What are his vitals? And I'm sitting there, and it was I don't want to make this too graphic or gruesome, but it was a mess.
Yeah.
And I looked at the guy, and he was as serious as a heart attack. And I just thought, well, I'm not going to get into anything right now. I'll just go along with it. I didn't render any medical attention or anything, but they thought I was a doctor, and I thought, oh, my God, okay, even in real life.
Yeah, 2 cc's of morphine, stat.
I mean, yeah, he just started firing it off at me, and the crazy thing is I knew what he was talking about. Yeah, so.
Again, visiting right now, not with Dr. Dar Dixon, but we're visiting with actor Dar Dixon. He gets to play a doctor on TV. And now your wife is also in the movie industry and in the television industry.
She is.
And she's got some fun projects that she gets to work on. What is that like, living and working with somebody who does the same kind of thing? Do you guys work together on many projects?
Yes, she does work in the business, too. We have worked together. We are 2 very strong personalities, very opinionated, very passionate. And those 2 things do not usually work well together if it's your partner, right? If it's your wife, your husband. Yeah, and so we don't work together a lot because we love each other and we don't want to we'd rather make love, not war.
There you go.
Yeah. She grew up, to go back, she grew up in the seat of the civil rights movement. Her father, my father-in-law, was Ralph David Abernathy, and he and his best friend, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., founded the civil rights movement. And so she had a really unique perspective to history, and her story and the family story really interesting. And so what she's done is she wrote a screenplay based around one of the, I'm not going to say too much because I can't, because she might sue me. I'm kidding. Based around one of the seminal moments in the civil rights movement, and she wrote a screenplay about that. She's got 3 more in store, and we're working with a top-notch producer, used to run a couple of the studios in town, and we're looking to make a full-length feature film where we're interviewing directors and kind of basically starting the pre-production phase.
Nice. Now, before we started talking on the program here, you said you're kind of working on some projects as well, and you're in the funding phase right now, and you do it a little differently than others. Let's talk about the process that you're looking at doing.
Okay. Well, the way, as I told you earlier, the way I'm doing it is probably the harder way, but I'm the kind of guy who really likes a challenge. It keeps me going. It keeps me on my toes. So it's enormously difficult and challenging making a movie. And it's not that it's the biggest or the hardest, but certainly one of the most important aspects to it is in raising finances to get the money. And he or she with the money makes the rules. and has more creative control over the finished product. And that's all anybody really ever wants at the end of the day. And so, God, I'm listening to myself. I sound like an authority figure again. Anyway, got to dance with who brung you, right?
Yes.
So I'm going out, and I've got a good friend, and he's an investment banker, and he's a master at pitching. And he's written books on it. He speaks on it all over the country and the world. We're going to be doing some work together real soon to help him with his media company, his blossoming media company. And I've been working with him on how to develop a pitch deck so I can go out to investors myself. And then I've also got another friend who is CEO of a top entertainment person in this town. In a lot of ways, is one of the guys who kind of created a huge chunk of the entertainment business. And he mentors me and has helped me along the way also. So it's a long process, but I've got a couple of scripts I'm working with right now that I want to get made. And I'm going out to get funding, which is something a lot of actors never do. But I enjoy the business part of things. I just enjoy all of it. The negotiation, making a deal, and working with people. I like people at the end of the day.
Well, I wish you the very best on getting the funding and seeing those projects come to fruition. And I look forward to seeing you play the role of being in charge of the movie rather than just being in front of the camera. Even though you're doing a phenomenal job there, I would love to see what creative ideas come from your mind. That would be fun.
Thank you, John. Likewise, I enjoyed talking with you. I'm glad to be here and share some time with you and your listeners, and I'd love to come back anytime.
Well, we'd love to have you back. Again, visiting right now with Dar Dixon, and you may know him from some of the television programs we were just talking about. We talked a little bit about This Is Us and Scandal and Silicon Valley, and I'm scrolling through and I'm seeing that you've gotten a chance to play officers in the military, police officers, doctors, priests, CEOs of companies. Every one of these are powerful people, so I'm really hoping that you get to play that role now of person that makes the movies actually happen, the producer, the director. Would it be the producer, the director? What piece would it be? The producer of the movie?
Ultimately, if I'm going out to get the money that big, that's the executive producer.
There you go, see?
Yeah, directing as well. So there you go, yeah.
Well, I'm hoping to see those credits behind your name here real soon as well.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I just thought about something. For something that's anti-authority figure, I shot a commercial last October in Columbus, Ohio, and it's for a little company called Safe Light Auto Glass. And I'm a grandpa with 3 grandkids, and I'm, playing with them, swinging them around, flying them through the air. They've got little superheroes outfits on, and that thing has been running nonstop. And it's so funny. All the work you just named, I've been fortunate enough to be in. A commercial like that will run, and people will stop me on the street. Friends that I haven't heard from in years will call up. With the with social media and everything, they'll reach out via that way too. Text, phone calls. So yeah, if you ever see that Safe Light Auto Glass commercial running right now with a tall guy with a white beard and 3 little kids, that's me.
Well, I'll have to be looking for that now. Well, Dar,
okay.
Thank you again for taking time to visit. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, John. I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much.
Dar Dixon, another guest on Movie Star Monday, right here on the John and Heidi Show. And I'm going to throw a link to his page on IMDb so you can see all of the cool things that I've been seeing here as well. I'm going to have all of that information online at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
It's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough. Available now on Amazon, or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A hippo can open its mouth wide enough to fit a 4-foot-tall child inside.
Whoa.
Wow, it's a pretty
That's
big
a big mouth.
Yeah. Fun fact for you,
What's
Heidi.
that, John?
Only female mosquitoes bite. So male mosquitoes, they don't bite.
How do they live? They have to bite to
no,
get blood.
apparently they don't. I don't make up these facts. I just read them.
That one sounds a little made up.
It's not, though. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Most elephants weigh less than the tongue of a blue whale. So you look at an elephant, you go,
holy cow.
that dude is huge. Now think about this. A blue
Holy
whale's
cow,
a
no
blue
way.
whale's tongue weighs more than that whole elephant. No, I'm not kidding. True story. Now, again, I didn't do a research on this. I just read it off the internet. But you know it's true because you heard it on the radio. This has been a couple of fun facts courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day. And the word for today is rhythmia. Rhythmia. I think that's how you say it. Rhythmia. Rathymia. Rhythmia. I guess is how they have it. Rhythmia. Any of those sound right to you?
No.
Rhythmia? What do you think rhythmia is?
I don't know. What is rhythmia?
I'm pretty sure I'm saying it wrong.
The ability to dance.
It says the state of being carefree or lighthearted. From the Greek rhythmos, lighthearted, easy-tempered, carefree, and then thymos is spirited and mind and courage. So all of that to just say it's somebody that's pretty darn happy. Happy-go-lucky. You are having some rhythmia. RHATHMIA. Pretty sure that's wrong too. Either way, it is today's grandiloquent word.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
There are some stories that I just have to smile. I can't even think about this story without smiling. It's just such a silly story. That's why it's today's weird news. Police in Oregon said a suspect led them on a chase while riding a stolen motorcycle. Stolen, so this isn't his license plate. But the vanity license plate is ex-felon. What?
Oh my gosh.
So this dude chose that bike to steal. Springfield police say 35-year-old Brock Antone Williams was recognized by an officer in the parking lot of an Albertsons. He determined that he was a convicted felon that had warrants for his arrest. And the interesting thing is, he's speeding off on a Ducati motorcycle, which that's a nice bike, by the way. He was joined by an officer on a patrol car, taken off, looking after or trying to catch him. And they made note of the license plate, ex-felon.
Wow.
It had expired North Dakota tags on it, too. So the patrol officer was in pursuit. They were going between 85 and 100 miles per hour down side streets. And then the guy got to a dead end. And then he said he got off the motorcycle and then claimed, no, I wasn't riding that motorcycle. Sure you weren't. Police say the motorcycle had been reported stolen in June of last year. So it's been on he's had it a while. Ex-felon.
Wow.
Why would you have not changed those license
right?
plates? I understand, you stole the bike, so you probably couldn't just go get them.
Just swap them with somebody else's bike in some parking lot somewhere.
I don't know. Bad idea. But that is today's weird news.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the moment of duh, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com. 31-year-old John O'Donnell of Raleigh, North Carolina, is in jail after police say he broke into a sleeping neighbor's apartment and stole her shorts.
Okay.
According to court documents, O'Donnell broke into a downstairs neighbor's apartment while she was snoozing just before 10 p.m. This happened on April the 29th. While inside the apartment, he stole a pair of her jean shorts. O'Donnell was charged with 1 count of felony first-degree burglary. He's held in the Wake County Detention Center on a $50,000 secured bond. I have no clue why he would do that. Maybe he just thought they looked
really nice shorts.
Must have been good shorts. He's in jail for a while over these shorts.
Holy cow.
For those of you who have a hankering for your downstairs neighbor's shorts, let this be a lesson to you. Stay away. Or you might be tomorrow's moment of duh.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
it's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough. Available now on Amazon or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
John and Heidi.
Time now for fake news or Florida, and I have so many of these
I
now.
like how you try to block it from me. Like
I'm
I
just
ever
making
look
sure.
at your computer
I don't want you
screen.
to. I put a little piece of paper over here because I kind of feel like maybe you're cheating. I don't know. I don't know how you're cheating, but somehow we're gonna do a few of them today, Heidi.
Okay.
All right. A Florida man was arrested at a North Carolina airport after he tried to sneak a knife onto an airplane by stashing it in a shampoo bottle. Fake news or Florida?
Florida.
It is Florida. Maybe I was way too specific with all those details. That is a true story. Thank you for submitting that, by the way. Another one here. Not Heidi. Otherwise, this would be really easy. Somebody else submitted that, so thank you to the person that sent that. Fake news or Florida, Heidi? A man was arrested for robbing a bank after a cop noticed him Googling how to rob a bank. Fake news or Florida?
I'm going to say fake news.
No, that's a true story.
How would the cop see what he was Googling?
He was on his cell phone. He Googled how to rob a bank.
Well,
and
the cop was standing right next to him looking over his shoulder to see what he was Googling.
I don't know. You can read the story. I've got a link to it. And I've got one more. You tell me if this is fake news or Florida. A mother arrested after sending in pot brownies to a bake sale. Fake news or Florida?
That was Florida.
No, that's fake news. No, there was a young lady that brought
that happened
something
somewhere.
No, they didn't bring him to a bake sale. They brought him to class for treats, like for a birthday party or something. So there you go. I had 3 of them today. This has been a fun, action-packed episode.
And I only got one right.
I know. Of fake news or Florida.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of Odiva. It's a monthly subscription service just for the ladies. Guys, I guess if you wanted to sign up, you could, but I don't know what you do with all the stuff. Cause
the guy who stole the jean shorts might be interested.
Yeah, he could. You never know. Get his own little box. But if you're interested in all the details, you can find that at radiosavings.com. Here's the headline, Heidi. After man plays his cello at bomb site, he spurs citywide movement to combat violence with music. And there's a video so you can actually hear him play his cello. Beautiful, beautiful music, by the way. Some people may not believe that music could properly combat terror, but this maestro is proving them otherwise. When 3 car bombs recently shook the foundations of Baghdad, famed Iraqi maestro Karim Wasifi, I don't know if I got any of that right. Wasfi. Wasfi?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, Mr. Maestro. Beautiful music, by the way. He played his cello at the site of the explosions the very next day as a means of showing resilience against terrorism, saying, hey, we're not going to let this shake us so much that we're afraid to go in the streets. The focal point is to beat terrorism and intimidation through beauty and refinement in civilizations. Those who can hate do not recognize beauty. They can't hear beauty. They can't see it. They can't feel it, he said. Maybe because they were never exposed to it. So there is a responsibility on our shoulders to also share with everyone the solid, concrete, basic foundation of good doing and beauty, because it's something that you can build upon. And there are other people that are joining in a National Symphony Orchestra has been performing now every couple of months. So it's really neat to see the movement that has been created because of this maestro taking it to the streets.
Nice. That's nice. I'm just going to circle back to something you said here a little earlier.
What?
Beautiful music, by the way. No clue what this gentleman's name is, but you know that the music he performs is amazing.
I clicked on it and listened to it. There's a video.
Did you?
Yes, you can check it out.
I don't believe you.
Okay, I'm going to listen. You are going to listen to it with me now, and we'll see if they pronounce his name. Thanks for listening. Would you leave me alone? This has been your good news, sort of. So somebody had to ruin the mood. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. If you want to see the beautiful music yourself, I have a link in our show notes at johnandheidishow.com.